Hey, I'm Nick Williams, and you're watching Medicare Millionaire. This video is for those individuals that are having difficulties getting started, perhaps restarting or rebooting their career, whatever it may be, or perhaps getting to a higher level or a respectable level in their career. I'm going to use myself as an example. When I make these videos, I don't like to talk about myself, but I'm going to in this video. So I want to actually talk about myself more than that I'm comfortable with. So let's get started. I'm going to follow along with some bullet points here that I have for myself so that I cover everything. First of all, most people fail. It's because their decision-making process weakens them. Most people have a decision-making process that causes failure. Most people fail not only financially, it's not just this business, but personally. I do have statistics. I know the statistics for financial success. We used to use a life insurance sales presentation called the 100-Man Story, and the 100-Man Stories went back to Department of Labor studies that showed that it was for every person aged 20 or 25 at age 65, the following conditions will exist. There were so many were dead, so many were dependent on family, government. They were basically poor, and there were only like 3 that were really successful, that were considered wealthy, but there were like 5 that you could say were financially successful. So most people fail. That's all there is to it. So when we're talking about this, you're probably in this category. When I say you have a decision-making process that makes you weak, yeah, it's probably you. It has been me in the past, and it can strike me now. So there are some people that just have a decision-making process that is consistent with success. They may not be successful personally, but certainly we see those people in business being successful. It's possible that you've never had a good decision-making process. It's possible that coming out the gate, you were destined for failure. Coming out of the gate, you were destined for failure. Doesn't that suck? I had that situation. It wasn't because my parents didn't love me, but they had their own things that they were dealing with. Every second you're making decisions. You're either gaining ground or losing ground. You better be making good decisions. You can sprinkle in a couple bad ones here or there. And I say every second. There's this guy named Jocko Willink, and he does videos. He's a retired Navy SEAL. He's a team leader, Navy SEAL team leader, a war hero, Silver Star, Bronze Star, stuff like that. But he says this, and he says it very slowly. Every second counts. Every second, every little decision you make counts, because you're accumulating, you're putting yourself on a trajectory. That trajectory can be in a spiral downhill, or it can take you to great success. Every second and every decision you make, you're not going to be perfect, so I'm not suggesting such a thing. But there's some big ones that will crush you. You better stop those, and you better get some good patterns for the little ones. Don't lie to yourself. You do have what it takes. Don't say you don't have what it takes. I have people that say, Nick, I'm not like you. Well, you don't know what I'm like. When they say that, they mean like you know how to do this. It's like, you're like you have like something, some intangible that I can't get. No, when I started in this business, I had a fear of this business. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. Okay. When I was 4 years old, my parents divorced. I moved with my mother. It was the 60s. And my mom was a drinker and it caused problems. She was a great woman. I mean, she was a lovely person, but she just drank and it caused problems. From age 4 to age 10, I lived in more than 10 addresses. I brought it up to my brother a year or 2 ago. And whatever I said, he was like, no, it was 1 or 2 more than that. I was like, I was only 4. I couldn't remember. It was so chaotic that in 2nd grade, I just stopped going to school. I've got a daughter, an 8-year-old daughter, just completed 2nd grade. She can't go out the front door unless it's in a controlled environment. And she can't go out the front door by herself. crazy. I was in Baltimore City running the streets every day. 42 days straight, I just stopped going to school. They noticed after 2 months, myself and my brother were no longer attending school. They actually held my brother back a year. And I guess I was in second grade. They didn't need to do that with me for whatever reason. I had learned chaos. I had learned it well. The pattern was set. The die was cast. In order for me to be successful today, I've got to fight this natural tendency I have for chaos. When I was 10 years old, I moved with my father. The very first day I lived with him, he tore me up because I came home late. It was like, I'm 10 years old. I'm out well past dark. And he's like, what are you doing? But he's screaming at me. That is a memory seared into my brain. And it was like, uh-oh. But again, I was already in that pattern in a bad way. Within 6 months, I was in a police station in the middle of the night. My father had to stop working night shift and he had to go to day shift because, again, this kid was out of control. I've never been one to join things or be part of anything. I don't like regimentation. I did join the military, but because every man in my family, almost every single man in my family has joined the military. I have a Marine, a son that's a Marine, and I have a daughter that's a Marine. So, and I think that's what saves some of us. But this chaos reigns deep down inside of me. So when you tell yourself you don't have what it takes, you're lying to yourself. When I started, I was 25 years old. It was in 1989. I got my insurance license. I started with an agency. I went to the top of that agency within just a couple months. I was number one month in, month out. I was in Hawaii. My wife and I were parasailing, looking down at a whale swimming through the Pacific Ocean. And that was because I worked hard, because my father was a very hard worker. He instilled that, he ingrained that. If I slept late, he would yell, like, get up. It was like when you're 18 years old, he was like, get out of the house. I had a bad accident and, well, he deserved to tell me to get out. What am I saying? I'm not even going to tell that story. All right, I need to get on track here. Again, it's a fight every single day. Whatever your issue is, instead of chaos, you may have been coddled. You may just need everything perfect. Instead of thriving on chaos, which I don't thrive on chaos, it hurts me. But you may need order, extreme order, and you can't proceed. Paralysis by analysis is the terminology you would use there. You can't proceed until everything is just right. Well, it's not going to be just right. That's another lie. You can proceed. You do have what it takes. You're able to do it. When I started selling, I would walk up to houses, and it's funny because this picture's here. You're wondering, well, what's this picture doing here? So this is a picture my daughter drew, and I just liked the picture. It had nothing to do with this, what I was saying, but it says home sweet home here, and she's crafty with her art. When I would walk up to houses that looked like this, that were, let's see here, that were just pretty little houses, it wasn't wealth or anything that intimidated me. It was like, wow, the good people live there. And I would be intimidated to walk up, literally scared, because I don't know why. I don't care why, because that's long past. There were a lot of situations that intimidated me. I was 25 years old. I was a child. But yet, because of my enthusiasm and hard work, I was successful. It took me years. It took years to be a badass. But you can be a badass as well. You just got to do it. You got to pay the price. That's all there is to it. You start right now. You can start right now. You take the book of your life and you rip off those chapters that you've screwed things up. Keep some good stuff. And you start writing this new story about this successful person. This person that I use this terminology became the hero of their family. This person of high moral standards and character, hard work. You're the new person. You start that right. You can start it tomorrow, okay? You don't have to start it right now. Start it tomorrow. Start it Monday. Start it next Monday. The important thing is that you do this. The important thing is that you change. But you better be aware. You better not be arrogant and cocky when you don't deserve to be. You know, and I remember having great success when I was just a young guy. I was making six figures, and my father told me, he goes, in a way, I'm kind of proud of you, Nick. In a way. But then he later told me, his exact words, you know, Nick, in a way, I'm kind of sort of proud of you. It's like, because he was a man that wouldn't lie. He would not lie. And so a couple weeks later, I talked to him and I was like, Dad, that was pretty backhanded, that compliment. And he said, well, you're just arrogant, Nick. It's your arrogance that pisses me off. And he was right. And if you can't identify these things, and I know this about myself, I know that I had that tendency. I certainly don't have that at all anymore. I have extreme confidence. And I do this every day. I wake up every day as if I went to a seminar. I went to that Tony Robbins seminar and did that fire walk the day before. It's not every day, but it's most days. I'm here to win. And you need to be here to win too, and you can. So you need to fight the fight. Whatever your problem is, you need to fight that fight every single day. I have a young agent, and that young agent is successful. His family has they own a business. They've instilled in him this work ethic. They were people of high character that worked hard, and they were able to discuss and instill in this person this work ethic. He only knows this good decision-making process that makes him a strong person. That's all he knows. Likewise, and this is an example, but this is the exception. This is the 20%. And it's even worse than that in a lot of cases. And when I say the 20%, that's that 80-20 rule. We have an old agent. He's not old, he's older. But he has failed in this business numerous times, but he's succeeding now. He's changed everything, and you can tell in his tone. He just is a winner. That's all there is to it. He has a winning attitude. He said to me the other day, I was talking to him, I think I mentioned this in a video, but he says to me the other day, he said, what was it? Oh, I asked him how he's doing. He goes, well, terrible today. He said, because I got no money. He goes, but he just put up enough apps in the past month or two. He goes, but I just made $1,000 a month starting in January. So he specializes in Medicare Advantage, and in January he's got the upcoming January. He knows that whatever he did in the past couple months is enough to generate $1,000 in income starting January. So he's like, I just got to hold out to January, Nick. That's all. That's a winning attitude. He's a winner. You can change. It's transformation. You can transform yourself. You can change everything. Rip out those bad pages, throw them away, rewrite that book. Don't rip off the bad pages, rip off the whole front section. You can transform your life, your business. I'm not here to change your life, although you have to. You got to change your life, right? It's your business. You can transform and become a powerful person immediately. You can start immediately becoming a powerful person. What you can't do is compromise yourself, and this is a big problem. I'll give you an example. I say that I thrive on chaos. I'm that person that would go out and whoop it up all weekend. I can really do it grand, and then Monday suffer. Now, that was fine when I was 20, but as you get older, no, it wasn't fine then, because it was a pattern I was establishing that affected me over the years. But it's one thing, and we often say it's, well, I can't handle that hangover. Well, that's one thing. And no, it hurts too much. And just the Mondays are too hard. And then it's a couple days before you can get into full steam. Again, if you really whoop it up, I don't know what your problem is. You know, it may not be that, but that has been a kind of a pattern that I have. But it's the compromising my principles. I know it hurts me. I know that it's not good to do. It doesn't add anything to my character. It takes away from my character. I don't need it. But yet I do it, and that's compromising myself. It may be smoking cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes. I hated it. But so I'm sitting there smoking, doing something I hate. Well, I had to stop. I had to. I knew I had to. I haven't smoked for years. I put those little mints. It said take one every 4 hours. I would have 2 or 3 in always. I'd make myself sick to my stomach, but I stopped smoking, and then I stopped those damn mints. I was addicted to the mints. In order to be successful, you're going to have to pay the price. Accept that I have to pay the price. I made a funny video. I thought it was funny the other day about taking a phone call and telling the person, well, I'll call you back in 2 years because I'm busy. I'm busy building a business. Yeah, talk to you then. Click. That's the attitude you need. That's the attitude you need. You may need to stop eating. You may need to stop drinking. I don't drink. It's too damaging. Once in a blue moon. I don't eat sugar. I don't not just don't eat sugar. I don't eat bread. I don't eat potatoes. I don't eat anything with starch in it. Rice, beans, because I need energy. So that stuff depletes your energy. I'm a powerhouse every single day. I say I can outwork everybody, and I can. I'm able to do it. I get up at 4 in the morning. I can work till 10 p.m. I can outwork every other person. And you should be saying, you can't outwork me, Nick. You can't outwork me. Now, I'm not saying you have to get up at 4 a.m., but you do have to get up and get moving and win. Seize the day. I use that hero analogy, be the hero of your own story. And this is rewriting your story and you being the hero. I also use an analogy. I read a long time ago, when you wake up and you're putting your suit on, I used to wear a suit and tie every day to go sell insurance. And I would be like, I'm putting on my suit of armor to go into battle. And that was something that I was like literally transforming myself, not in a big way, but a thought process. Like, man, I'm getting ready to go out and I'm going to go win. I'm going to go sell some insurance. It's the warrior mentality. I want to go out and fight. You're going to have to go out and fight. You're going to have to go out and fight for your family, for your career, for everything, every day. And stop worrying about all the little things. Immediately, stop worrying about that. Again, I'll let you start on Monday. You can start next Monday. Start next Monday. Tear out the bad section of the book. Start rewriting your story and do whatever it takes to win. Change your life. You will love it. You truly will love it. I promise you. You'll give up things. You'll change things. You'll change your priorities. But over time, you'll actually love where you land. You'll love the new person that you become. So that's it. Send me an email, nick@medicaremillionaire.com, and maybe we can work together. There's no agency in America where you can be more successful than you can here. Now, everybody's got these plans and they got this. Everybody, okay, all these agencies, they'll tell you, we got this, we got that. It's you that matters. You're the one that matters. Every agency has access. No, not every, but like most every agency has access to. You want to do seminars, you want to do direct mail, you want to do telemarketing, you want to do Facebook leads. Everybody can do that. You can do that anywhere. What's important is that you do it, but not just that you do this one marketing thing. So I see people give up commissions, sacrifice their integrity because they join a company that they don't believe in necessarily, so that they can access some leads. That's compromising yourself. Again, when you compromise yourself, you hurt yourself. You hurt yourself and your ability to succeed because you put yourself subservient to something else in life that makes you feel that. Now you're in this hierarchy of people that you don't even like. All right. Again, nick@medicaremillionaire.com. Let's do business. I want to end it right there because I'm starting to talk myself into a circle here. We'll talk to you soon.